I am Benetta Koomson. I am a lecturer and an engineer. We have 3 kids. The first one is 8 years, the second one is 6 years old, and the third one is only 3 months. Pardon?
2 months.
No, we are 3. We are 3 months old. Yes, a week now, now. Hey, are we, is it?
I'm Ebenezer Koomson. I'm a banker, even though I'm a mechanical engineer anyway. So, yeah, I do both.
I felt very weak. I'm a very active person. I was not able to do a lot of things like I used to. So we decided to test.
Even though initially it's like, why?
What happened?
I mean, we wanted to wait and then maybe get some money.
Yeah.
And then the following year, but once we saw it, we just have to adjust and then.
It was mixed feelings, excitement, anxiety. I didn't know what to look out for. It was our first time. I also didn't think that I would get pregnant that quick.
But then once we found out that she was pregnant, well, it was also good. We felt all right because that is, in our side of the world, looks like the ultimate for every marriage.
It's the attention, isn't it? When I was pregnant, you'd find everyone trying to call you, hey, what's up? How are things going? You get it? Even work colleagues are looking out for you. And although we are here in Takoradi, I live in Kumasi, but you find that my husband visits more often and all that. Yes. I mean, with the subsequent pregnancies. But the first one, we were together. So.
Well, amazingly, all the 3 were not expecting.
Yes. Yes.
All the 3. It's not like we had planned and so we were ready, just expecting that, maybe this period should be pregnant.
No, it hasn't been like that for us.
As a father, sometimes you are happy seeing that, well, you also have a child or you are expecting a child, and then looking at a mother who is pregnant, there is some, how do I call it? Maybe some pride or.
Oh, okay, for you?
Maybe yes.
Okay, great.
I don't know the word to use anyway, but you feel good when you see your wife pregnant and then you can take care of them. You feel good. At the time when she was coming from Canada, she brought me some very good perfume I love very much. At a point in time, I was going out, so I wore the perfume, and when I got to the kitchen and she was there, she does that. You are smelling. And I really felt bad.
On your fine crap.
Why are you doing that? So I went back and I remembered that she's pregnant too. So I said, okay, I'm sorry. One day she asked me to prepare Jello because it's been very tough for me. This one, she was not able to eat it, and sometimes it's really stressful. Now I was preparing this jollof. It turned out to be watery.
It was like rice porridge jollof.
So that day I was in the kitchen and I like, hey Jamie, what's going to happen? Because I also wanted to eat well, feel good, make sure that she's all right.
Yeah. So
I was troubled that, this jollof, what's going to happen? So, well, I have to tell her because she's also hungry. So I said, no, this is the jollof. She got angry. She said, see, do jollof for me. Look at what you have done. And I've really felt bad. Now, the good thing about it is that she said, okay, let me try. She tasted it. And when she tasted the jollof, she said,
it was the
I
best
shouldn't touch
jollof in the whole wide world.
She said, this one, don't touch it. She took everything in the storage bowl, straight to the fridge, and I'm sure for like a week or 2.
Yes, that was what I was eating,
what she was
and
eating.
It worked perfect for me.
I mean, when it got finished, she said I should prepare that jollof. I said, this one was a mistake.
The first one, he had come to visit my mom and my little sister. They were all around, everybody was anticipating, and so we were all together getting ready for Nana to come. But something funny happened. Remember that evening I said I wanted to eat ice cream. So we went to a certain hotel, and then I started having contractions, and we were timing it. And we all had the ice cream. It was fun. But as I was eating ice cream, Then I would have this interesting contraction. They will all pause. Everybody will be waiting for me. I'm like, oh my God, oh God, oh. Then it will calm down. So we went for the ice cream, came home, and then at dawn, I didn't have my water gushing out like other people would always say. But I saw this, the mucus, the show. So when I went to the washroom, I saw the mucus. But I thought when I was coming back from the washroom, it was very difficult for me to take a step or so. And my mom was hiding somewhere. I think she was keeping an eye on me. But now you were so fast asleep. Yes, you were. You were fast asleep. So my mom was keeping an eye on me. And then she's like, hey, I think we had to go to the hospital.
Well, I wasn't asleep because at the time...
sleeping.
No, she wasn't all right. So we're all, waiting to see what will happen. And I want to thank the mother very much because I don't know what would have happened if she were not around. But then when she said that, okay, we should just go to the hospital and see, just in case it is the delivery time. And thankfully, we picked the car. We just went to the ABA hospital that time in Takwa. And when we went there, lo and behold, the nurse said it was the time. One of the amazing things about childbirth, I believe, is your confession.
Yes.
There is this book, you remember you brought a book from Canada?
Yes.
Childbirth in Glory.
Childbirth in Glory.
Yes.
Yes.
And at that time, it was the book. And anytime that women are in situations like that, I want to encourage our men that we have to be supportive of the women. Our story is a bit different because I had not always been around. So most of the times we talk on phone, and when I'm around, we talk. And so in a situation where the woman is troubled, is tired, is weak, they need us, the men. Unfortunately, men are not seen to be in trouble because it looks like the woman is the one carrying the load. But men really, if all men will bear with me and they will say the truth, it's not a joke. First of all, when your wife is pregnant,
yes,
you are looking at a woman, if you are really in love with your wife, who at this time in the period, anything could agitate her. Your smell could agitate her. So it's not fun when you look at it from that side. And then the way we used to do things together has changed. And it's not really fun. So it gets to a place where now she's tired. And if you are not careful and she's stuck in you, it looks like you are the cause for her problem. So
yes,
you are a lot of mixed feeling. So at the point, this book, Childbirth in Glory, and I want to encourage, if you have opportunity, you get that book, it's very good, Childbirth in Glory. And some mothers and fathers who are also helpful, you could also speak to people. Yes. I believe that this is the reason Dromo Baby is going ahead with this thing. And I thank you, Dromo, for this opportunity to bless other people. I'm sure these messages will go a long way to encourage them. Yes. So back to the story. At the point, it wasn't easy. There had been an issue earlier on where the doctors call it attempted abortion.
Yes. I nearly, the third child, even the first one, I had an attempted abortion. So, and then then the third one as well. But yes, thank God for the people around and the right confessions.
Confessions, yes.
That yes, my baby is strong, my baby is healthy. You have to declare those things, Yeah.
So like the first one, when we went there, and she's like, I'm tired. Yeah. And at the time, because of the earlier experience with the attempted abortion, we were too careful. So when we went there, I wanted to be in the labor room. And there was this nurse who would not allow me. And I didn't understand. It was, and she wasn't friendly at all. So at a point, I was encouraging her that, look, we don't need to say anything wrong, negatively. Now, the reason I'm saying this is this, that a lot of the times, if the women, I don't know other experiences, but almost all the 3 kids, when it's getting to the period for delivery, that is when you hear news of someone who is going to give birth.
And they died. Or their children passed on. Oh.
Sometimes like, the husband was going to take care of them and had an accident. And then you have some people, very good people with good intentions, also advising that, you have to go to Accra. They kind of, suggest
where you have
the best of hospitals. And if you are not careful, you look at the environment and you get so troubled. So it's good you have good people around so that you find confidence in those who are taking care of you.
Yeah.
Believe me, those who are taking care of you are not gods. But then, at the moment, they are there. And if you can trust God, God through them would help you out. So that you are confident in the people around you, confident in the health personnel who are taking care of you. And that's what we have to stand for. So in this time that the nurse was so angry, was not listening to anybody, he said the woman to go inside, and I wasn't hearing anything. So myself and the mom were there. Then all of a sudden I said, no, let me make friends with this woman. So I went to her, just give her some jives more. Mommy, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sure you are tired. Can I just stutter something? Then somewhere, somehow, she opened up and we were kind of friends at that time. But she would still not allow me in. Believe me, I was troubled and I was afraid because I don't know what was happening to her and what was happening to the baby as well. So what's going on? And my head was aching and it was trouble. And I'm looking at my mother-in-law and she's troubled. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? So I decided to sing. I just started singing. And then all of a sudden there was this woman who just entered the labor room. And when she entered, I just heard that, mommy, you can give birth. Push. So I had push one, the second one, push. Then that was all. Then the woman came out. And when she came out, she said, this one there, it was God who brought me. Friends, do you know something? All the money's on me. My wallet, my pocket, everything. I didn't know how I took everything and I gave it to the woman. And she said that she wasn't coming to do anything, but that she just felt like visiting the labor room. And she owns her own maternity home somewhere.
Yeah.
And she just passed. And that was...
So for our first child, the one who actually helped me to deliver wasn't like a midwife, who was working in that hospital. She passed through. So I think from that experience, when I was pregnant with the second child and even a third child, we decided that we're going to look for like a better place of delivery where you would be well taken care of. So from that point, I decided to work with one gynecologist who would be able to take good care of you, be at a place where the midwives are more welcoming and they are ready to take care of you. So as you're listening to us, it will be very important whenever you are pregnant that you find a place, a hub, where you are made up of people you can easily trust, okay? Because if you don't do that, sometimes some other people, depending on whatever situation they might find themselves in, they toy with your life. So it's very important when you're pregnant to decide, make a decision that I'm going to work with these people, and it helps. And then the second, I had my nephew around me, and then some of my students were also there because I had told them that he wasn't around, so somebody would have to take me to the hospital. So, and then I had one young lady living with me. So that time, when I was having contractions, I called him, I called my mom, my dad, my siblings, and so they were all they were traveling to Kumasi to come and help me out. But then I told my nephew that, hey, call one of my students, let him come and pick the vehicle and drive me to the hospital. So they drove me to the hospital. I was just strong like this, but I was having contractions. And when we got to the hospital, I told the nurse, you know what, let me just lie down for you to check. I know that I am getting ready to give birth, but check if I have not dilated up to like 8 or 9, allow me to go back home and then I'll come back. Funny enough, when they checked, I had dilated 7 centimeters. That was huge. And the nurse was like, and you are this strong and talking and all of that. But within like 3 to 4 hours, by God's grace, the baby came. And he came after I had delivered at that time. And this final one, we don't know what happened. 38 weeks, he wasn't coming. 39, 40, week 40, he wasn't coming. I remember when I was over 40 weeks and I wasn't giving birth. Remember when we went to the hospital and we were coming? We met this...
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We met this pastor.
He said, they've tied your
baby,
the neck and everything. And
hey, with all the contractions styles.
All the levels. And
So he said, wait. Then I was trying to ask him, so what are you trying to tell me? Then he said, keep quiet, keep quiet. You have to make sure you do what I'm asking you to do. Or don't you people, you talk a lot. You know when, and then we stood there. My husband also stood there quietly. And this man went to bring some herbs and then gave it to my husband that, hey, take it. When you go, let your wife remove her dress, put it on her stomach, this way, that way, that way, and then begin to say certain things.
And I'm sorry to, not to be sorry, but my friends, pastors who preach the word of God, and maybe you have prophecy and all that, there's a way we communicate.
Don't put fear in us.
You see, you meet us and he started talking and I was just looking at him.
Hey, who wants it? You know.
And all the things, and I'm like, what are you saying? For me, when I took the thing, I just threw it away. And then she's like, why? And I said, you see, let me tell you, at this point, your tummy, stomach has dropped. So every man who sees like I see will know that you are just about to give birth.
Yes.
And you have not given birth. So can look at you and say anything at all. Well, people can say all kinds of things, but we have God. And we know the potency of our God. So men, when it comes to that point, encourage your women.
Yes.
Doctors are there for us. Nurses are there for us.
So my gynecologist decided that he was going to induce me. We went to the hospital on Wednesday, and I was sort of afraid to be induced. So he said I should come back and then go the following day. So we went back to the hospital the following day, and then I was induced. And in fact, that was an interesting experience. Very, I don't know, it's above painful, okay? I dilated really quick, and after about 4 hours, they came to check. And in fact, I was just screaming and saying, you know what, if the baby is not coming, please, can we have a cesarean section? And it was tough for me at that point, really tough. And the midwife was encouraging me and saying, hey, you have not dilated only 2 centimeters, so it is 8.
Contraction. Okay, so contractions. So the contraction was and I'm like, okay, so that is, and she was really suffering.
Oh, you're so
funny. I'm saying all kinds of things, and I said no. So I held her hands.
Yes.
And I said, we're going to do it together. So while she was doing, I said, please, obey.
Yeah.
Try, push, hold on. He said, no, I'm tired.
I was tired.
Can we go for CS? And I'm like, you see, as
yeah.
And you know what? It's difficult. I understand it's difficult. It's like you don't know what I'm going through. I'm like, I know I don't know what you're going through, but you also don't know what I'm going through standing by you. Can we do it together?
But were you not going through anything?
Yes.
What?
You see, that is where the problem is. I'm looking at a woman who is suffering and the emotions that come with it. What's happening?
So you also were suffering?
Yeah, what's happening?
Okay, really?
My head. What's happening to my child? What's happening to my wife? Okay. Am I going to have my? Am I going to lose her? Okay. All the feelings that goes with it.
Okay, so and you were traumatized, sort of.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was tough. And when you are saying you are tired, you know what is going on? Tired of what? Giving up. So are you going to die?
Yeah.
All those things come up, and it's difficult. If the men will attest to it, it's not easy. But because it is not easy, that's why we are men. And as women, you have been given the grace to be pregnant and give birth. So stand on that one. As tough as it is,
you are so funny.
Hold hands together and push on.
Okay, my mom told me when you are dilating and your pelvis bones are opening up for a baby to come out, it's not a joke. My mom actually showed me how to push.
So as we kept on, like, I'm tired, I'm like, this nurse came. So what is happening? And she was also troubled. I'm like, oh, mommy, maybe I hear Diana. I said, no, mommy, don't worry about that. She will push it. So she turned, and I'm like, please check her. And when she checked, the baby was coming.
Yes, the baby was coming.
And she was surprised because they were expecting about maybe 5 hours, maybe 8 hours, but this is just about 3 hours. And the baby is coming. So there was a doctor, the doctor who did the induction just came to say goodbye so that the other doctor would take over. And when he came with his bag behind him,
with his backpack,
said, hey, this thing is happening.
So
we had to carry her, But I was happy because this time I was there.
Yeah.
And however tough it was, thankfully, I want to say that let's hold on to God and let's build our attitude very well. The women, try not to insult the men. It's difficult. Push. Try not to say all kinds of things because you break your man. Yeah. I want to tell you, men looks very robust, but we have some weakness, especially when it comes to words. Be careful the words you say to your men because they are with you. We may not be carrying pot belly, but we are with you.
But sometimes some of them carry pot bellies.
So at the point when the nurse came and then she like, I said, Mommy, mehunaswa, and it was true. So the ear came and then just had a pull.
Yes.
And the baby came out and
I said, you this guy, you were the one who was giving me all the troubles. I think that was the first thing I said. Yes. And then I went back to lie down. But he was with my husband. When he was holding him and cuddling him, and I think you were praying with him or something.
I did.
Yes.
And I was saying thank you to God and thank you to her. And I was thanking everybody in the room. I thanked the mother.
You were thanking
I was thanking everybody in the room. Believe me, that was a relief. When that, I'm like, oh God, that's good. You've done well. And thankfully, it was like that.
Yeah, it was
so
a
the
good
experience is tough. It's hard. But let's take the responsibility
to
own that toughness, to own that difficulty, own that challenge. And I believe that when we own it, there's a way to push through and get it done.
When it comes to going to work now, I'm not concentrating only on career. You get it? Be a wife, be a mother, be somebody's counselor, somebody's greatest fan. You get it? You are cheering them on. And so a lot of changes have happened. Recently, I'm writing, and then before you realize, this one will come, Mommy, please, can you have, Mommy, please? And then I don't do the little one is up, and you have to pay attention. So, in fact, it has not been easy at all. But the greatest thing I've learned in all of this is to also make time for myself as a woman.
And you can't sleep as normal.
Yeah.
So when she's up to feed her, you are also up. And sometimes you have to carry the baby and make sure that we kitch you. Belch.
Oh, belch.
So, belch. So, all of that comes in. Sometimes you are really tired. We also learn, and we have a lot of things that we do. So, usually now, before I used to wake up maybe around 4. Now I have to wake up around 2 because there are lots of things to be done.
Yeah.
When you go and you are coming, you have to make sure that you come early, you postpone some job, you make sure that you come take care of the child so that the mother too can rest. And when she's, they need their own time too and their space. So you give it to them. We also need our time and our space. But this time,
we will give it to them.
I don't have the time and the space. She wouldn't give me the time and the space. The baby will not give me the time and the space. So it means that I have to box everything together. Amazingly, during our devotion time, I'll be sitting and I will sleep.
Oh boy.
I always say that yes, it's difficult, but you see it as a responsibility. So you count it as part of the life that you have chosen.
Well, I have not been surprised by anything, honestly. I basically, no. Because I think somebody, personally, I adjust to situations. I quickly adjust to everything and then try to make the best out of situations.
I don't think anything has surprised me. No, I don't think so. You see?
No, he surprises me when he tries to dance with the nine. I don't like you.
Oh, okay.
For me, I keep learning. So I wouldn't say I know what I am doing. I am learning on the job. Listening to Jomo Baby, people's experiences, for instance, helps me to change this and change that and adjust here and adjust there. Yesterday, we were talking about how to be able to correct them without causing an injury to their emotional health, for instance. And if you look at our culture, we take children for granted, and sometimes we do a lot of things to them, and we don't realize that we are abusing them. You try to help them maintain their joy, their sanity. You get it? When they are sad, it's okay. I realize that we don't give room for people to be sad, especially our men. You see, I tell my husband to cry. Sometimes if you have to cry down, cry it out. Let the tears flow, because I need you to grow old with me. Oh,
of course.
Yes.
The body has changed very much. One of the things that I discovered when her body was changing was the trouble she was going through. It looks like I will not appreciate her.
Yeah.
She used to be very cute, smart, bags at the back, moving. She's a choreographer, and I love to see her choreographing. With all the, dance and the moves and the body slaying with the nice shapes and all that. But now it's not like that, because it has changed because of childbirth and growth as well. So at the point that she will be complaining, you ever see my body? I said, look, once you are growing, these things will change. And we men would have to adjust our eyes to see the best in this situation. And when we are able to see the best in this situation, then we can also help.
Yeah, breastfeeding. When I gave birth to my first child, breastfeeding was very difficult at the beginning because my breasts were engorged, and in fact I didn't know what to do. My mom was there and she was like, I know you were supposed to have big breasts, but this one I think she was also surprised at how mine turned out. And in fact I was having these chills. We used to get warm towels and maybe warm and then freeze cabbage leaves to put on the breast to express some. It was very difficult for me. Then we started expressing. But there's this kind of relief, I can't really describe it. When the baby sucks, if your breast is engorged and the baby decides to suck and the baby is sucking well, it's so relieving. And there is this bond that you have with the child. It's amazing. I remember with my second child, my breast became sore. My mom was like, you have to try and breastfeed your baby. So I put the breast in his mouth, and then I'm screaming, oh, Jesus. And it's not easy. The same thing also happened to me with this child, this one who is 3 months old.
Hey, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll tell you, for the second born, the first born, the girl would want to play with him. And you don't know, sometimes on the bed, he's on the bed and she'll pull him.
Oh, yeah.
And before you hear on the floor.
He's on the floor. Like, Jesus, wake him up.
Like, oh. That's sometimes it's very scary. And then for the second born like this, when after 6 months, when he wasn't eating, it was difficult.
Yes.
And that
you
period
gave him
wasn't.
cocoa and
Yes, it wasn't easy. But I took a risk. I like kuntumbre, kako, and plantain or yam or even cassava.
Yes.
You see, there's this time where Mrizi, kuntumbre, wokoko, and plantain.
And the kako.
So, it's not easy when you are looking at baby and you want to give that. And I love pepper too. So, but I just said, let me take a risk. And it was scary. That for me was scary. And so whilst I was eating, and usually you'll be on me, I'll be eating. I said,
let's try.
I just checked whether she was watching or not. Because if she were watching,
I would say no. Don't dare give that to my son. Don't
do that. So I'm like, okay, you go. Then somehow she left, and then I did it, and I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I put it in his mouth, and he took it. Whoa! He liked it. I used to call him homeboy.
Yeah.
and that was it. That was a breakthrough for us. It was risky, but it was a breakthrough for me. So immediately I did the feto, contemporary brazen, and then I gave it to him, and he took it. Kako, he took it. The contemporary, he took. I said, "Hey, woman, come."
This boy is eating.
When she came, like, why are you giving this for? I said, he likes it. That was it.
Yeah, so that was the greatest recovery.
We blend the fish, the shrimp, and then the contumbre.
You add the momoni and kako, and then this boy is just good to go.
Yeah, so
unlike the first girl, she liked like the bledina, beech nuts, and she's a fine lady. But this one, no.
He's a homeboy like
He's myself, a homeboy. He will sit down and eat the fufu, and he would, and okro, and he was just okay.
Anyway, for me, it's not just about raising children. It has been one of my most challenging things in my life for me to be in Takrady and my family in Kumasi. It's not our fault.
Because of our career.
It's because of career. And you see, I love to support my wife, and she does same. So it's not as if stop what you are doing and then come and join me, or me to stop what I'm doing and then come and join. Now, because of that, it's a huge challenge.
Raising the kids.
Yes, raising them and everything. Women, we have never slept early before.
We are always talking.
Whether we are together or not, we don't sleep early. So usually, maybe after around 9, 10, when we get on phone, sometimes around 1, 12, 1 before. And that alone is challenging. When you are away, and then you still have to help in raising the kids, it's very, very, very challenging.
Emotional.
As much as possible, if there is the room to be together, go ahead. But let me just encourage young couple who find themselves in my shoes, in our situation. You see, we have been brought up in a way where it is like once you are married, you have to be together, which is the best. But circumstances happen, and sometimes it's difficult to manage. But let's play it well. Be able to, if it's a phone, if it is work, whatever it is, try as much as possible to make it work. It's not easy. For me, I don't know what again is challenging to me than this one.
Wow. Seeing the kids do well, it's amazing. For me, my baby, when the baby smiles back at me, it gives me so much joy, gives me energy, it gives me hope. You know, that, hey, I also had this little thing growing inside of me. He's out and like he's growing, you know, and he's smiling back at you. Gives me so much hope. And when the other kids are grown, those who are like a little grown than the baby, when they are doing well in terms of house chores, in terms of relating with people, when you see them relating very well with other people, it gives me a lot of hope. It gives me joy. When they are doing well at school, you get it. And Adam, for instance, when he is able to exploit his other abilities, it's amazing. You look at him and it's beautiful.
You know, when you are able to bond with them,
yes,
it's very, very, very rewarding. I feel that a lot of the things we have to put in is to how to make them appreciate what they have. You see, one of the things about kids is even when you are angry and they smile at you,
all the anger goes away.
It's amazing. And they are one of the things too that keeps you going. It keeps you going.
Yeah. You
realize that it's tough. Sometimes you get to a place, you know that if it were you alone, you know, but you realize that you look at them, you see them in you. You close your eyes and you see them in like, you have reason to push ahead.
Yeah, I have a story like something funny happened in my office, and I went to pick them from school, and then when I came back home, you see, I was very sad, but I was trying to pretend, you know, so that they wouldn't know. And Nanaja, I was pregnant at the time. Nanaja is like, Mommy, she came up to me and she said, Mommy, everything is okay. You always have to understand that people will not accept you for who you are, but God loves you. I think that was what she said. Yeah, Mommy, everything will be okay. And yeah, something like that. But God loves you. And I was like, oh, I have not even talked about whatever happened with her. But you see, sometimes they say things as if they are just talking, but they give you so much hope and they encourage you to, go on in life. Yes, so for me, I am really excited about that. And I thank God that I have them.